It's been a long time coming, but you've been free for a week now. How does it feel, and has it sunk in?
Well, it feels great, you know what I mean? And I'm loving every minute of it, you know what I mean? I deserve it, you know what I mean? I've been waiting for it for so long. And, hard work paid off. Exoneration initiative, they fought so hard for me, man. You know what I mean? It need to be a lot of other lawyers out there like that. You know what I mean? They freedom fighters, man. They have passion for justice. You know what I mean? And this the thing that a lot of lawyers need to have. They need to see the truth. If they see injustice, they should fight it. You know what I mean? That's what they oath was. And the exoneration initiative, they define, you know what I mean, what they took their oath for. You know what I mean? And I feel good, man. It's a hard transition, but I feel good.
Yeah, what have been some of the biggest adjustments you've had to make? I know you've mentioned that the crowds can be kind of crazy at times, but what's that been like trying to adjust back to your regular life?
Um, it's been kind of rough, man, because I've been bombarded. You know what I mean? I haven't really had a chance to sit down with my nucleus, my family, my core family, and really get a hand and try to build our bond a little bit more stronger than what we had it, you know? So, I've been away a long time, and the crowds of people is just, sometimes I just want to be by myself, you know what I mean? With my family, my grandbabies, you know what I mean? And that's it.
Yeah, how has it felt being with your grandkids and being with your family in the same room and being able to see them and touch them?
It's an expression, man, that you can't even put in words, you know? And, since I was a baby, man, my family had cuddled me, man, you know what I mean? To be cuddled by them again after 20 years, man, is astounding, man. Astounding. I can't put it in words.
Yeah, seeing their faces when you walked out for the first time on Friday, what was that like? If there are even words to describe how that felt walking right out that door.
It was so real. It was so real, man. You know, when I came out that door and I seen all my family and friends, it brought so much emotions, man, that I blanked out. I blanked out and I'm looking at everybody and I was stunned, you know what I mean? And I was so happy. I didn't know who I was hugging when I was hugging them until I hugged my wife. My wife like brought me back alive, and then I realized, wow, you know what I mean? And like I said, man, to link on to that, man, she's my core. So when I hugged her, I knew it was real.
You'd probably imagine you probably had dreamed of that day, the day you'd get to walk free. Did it play out the way you'd always dreamed it, or was it a little bit different?
Well, I wouldn't say dream it because in there, man, it seemed like your dreams is just confined, just like you. But my thoughts and how I believe it was exactly how I planned it to be. You know what I mean? How I thought it to be, rather. So that's how I knew it was going to be like that, man, with my family. I knew it was going to be like that. But I didn't know the feeling that I was going to have when I leave out of here. But the feeling that I thought I was going to have, I didn't have because it was way beyond what I thought it could be. The feeling was so beautiful. Like I said, when I touched my wife, man, it opened me up, man, and I knew it was real. And that's when all the emotions came, man. That's why I tried to get out of there. And all the cameras and stuff, it was frustrating me. So I was like, yo, let's get out of here. I got to go, you know. And we got in the car and we left. It was beautiful.
Yeah, in a way, do you feel like you're back to your old self? Do you feel like you're feeling the way you did, when you're in your 20s and before this whole nightmare happened?
Well, I look like I'm in my 20s, but no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But it, it it's not the same. You know what I mean? I think it's going to take a while to transition into that. I think it's going to take a real while to transition to that because a lot of things, I isolate myself a little bit. If I'm around a lot of people too long, I have to get away, man, you know what I mean, and sit down and gather my faculties, you know?
Mm. have you been surprised by like seeing people with like video phones and all these things that weren't here, before all this happened? Has anything stuck out as you were like, oh my God, what is that?
Like downtown Buffalo, Canal Side. I mean, all these different things. You got to understand, man. I was born and raised in the city of Buffalo. I'm a Buffalonian. So to see my city transform like it is today is amazing. I'm proud of the city, man. I'm proud of the city, man, the way they're trying to transform it and build us up, man. You know what I mean? We're a resilient city, and this is what we do. Buffalonians stick together, man. That's what we do. Go
Yeah.
Bills, too.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to drive around a little bit downtown?
Yes, I did. I drove around. I took about an hour just to drive around Buffalo. You know what I mean, and downtown. The West Side, places I'm familiar with. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of things probably look the same, but I'm sure a lot look different too.
Look real different. Like Canal Side was just a scrap pile. You know what I mean, back in the day, and the way they transform it is beautiful down there. It's beautiful. Like I said, man, I'm proud of them, man. You know what I mean? Now we can have people come here and be proud to take them somewhere, you know?
Yeah, because I can imagine you probably saw a lot of that on TV, like seeing the news and reading the newspaper, but to see with your own eyes, I'm sure had been pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's always good. This is like you seeing something through the window you want to buy, but when you touch it, it's even better, you know? Yeah, it was real. It was real nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so take me back to the moment you find out that there's a hearing. I guess if you can walk me through that last week, you find out there's a hearing, and then at one point does somebody say, "Hey, you're getting out of here"?
Well, my lawyer's always reserved to protect me. I really didn't know nothing. I really didn't know how this hearing was going to go. They didn't know how this hearing was going to go, but they fought so hard. You know what I mean? They dedicated themselves and their time, and they pushed through it, and I knew about the hearing. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of people don't get that type of hearing, in which they should if it's validity to your situation. But at the same time, token is that when I had the court date, I didn't have no expectation at that point because I have been duped in the beginning. So it's hard to trust and believe. But the power of prayer, when I went to court, it told me, it said, God told me, he said, when I was on my knees, he spoke to me, he said, you're going to be all right, And right then and there, I didn't have no butterflies in my stomach at that time. When I went there, and I put it in his hands, man. And like I said, man, God, you could pray to God. You hear your prayers, and he get to you when he get to you. You know what I mean? It may not been meant for me to be out all this time. You know what I mean? It may been meant for me to be in there to save me from future things. But because by me being in there, I became a man in there. You know what I mean? I became a man in there, and it was a hard struggle, man. The things I went through in there. So I didn't have no expectations, and I went in there without butterflies. I put it in the hand of God, and this is what he delivered to me, freedom.
Was there ever a point over the last 20 years where you started to lose hope, where it felt like maybe you weren't going to get out?
No. I'm going to tell you why. It's because my wife, my mother, and my family, we're strong knit family, And the one thing my mother always taught me is to never give up. You know what I mean? Especially when you're in the right. Always admit when you're wrong. You know what I mean? It takes a man to do that. And she taught me very well. So, I live under her tutelage, man, and I respect my mother and love her so much. So, my heart is she installed fighting me, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't quit. I fought until the bitter end. And it's the results, man. Freedom and the truth. I do feel for Tamika Means, man. And I feel for her family, man, you know what I mean? And it was two wrongs, man. You know what I mean? It was two people wrong, man. It was two people forgotten. It was me and Tamika Means. So I share some feelings with her, man. I really do, man. You know what I mean? I pray for her, you know what I mean? You know, and you know, I try to talk to her through the power of prayer sometimes, man. You know, and sometimes in my mind, I think she's talking back to me. You know, and actually, I think she helped me a little bit. You know what I mean? Because, you know, when you got an incident like that, man, and every day you go over your legal work, you go over the situation, you try to make sense of it. You know what I mean? And why? And then why me? Why they picked me? You know? And it's like I know, you know, I said her name 1,000 times. I read her name 1,000 times. You know, and I just feel her soul, man. You know, I really do feel her soul, man. And God bless her people.
The Judge McCarthy at the time, said it wasn't the most satisfactory of evidence just to have one eyewitness and no corroborating physical evidence. Do you think about him a lot, that judge who kind of felt helpless at the time when he was doing the sentencing?
Yes, he was beyond. Judge McCarthy, he had a lot of integrity, man. You know, I know his hands was tied, you know, at that time. He didn't want to disturb the jury. But, you know, his general premise and what he felt at that time, right? And I think he was a little bit beyond his time. You know what I mean? I think, you know, they try to stay away from that type of situation because it wasn't unpopular at that time. You know what I mean? A lot of this was unpopular. And the judge today, he did what was unpopular, but he did what was just. You know, he went by the law. He went by the evidence and what he seen. You know what I mean? And we need a lot more judges like him. Being in prison, you know, they treat you like peasants. You know what I mean? And it's about the administration. You know, Albany got to be cleaned up. And right now, I feel the pain of them brothers in prison. You know what I mean? Under the conditions they're living in. You know, and you know, it's a lot of things we have to do to clean up our justice system, our correctional system, and a lot of other systems we got here. You know what I mean? Our police departments. You know, and we need to come together as the people. You know what I mean? It's not the administration. It's we the people. You know, we need to clean it up for the people. Y'all should give the people what they want, because y'all serve the people. When you serve the people, man, you have to listen to them. You can't appease them with this, get on the news and say this, that. You got to actually be doing the work. And, you know, and that's all I got to say about that, you know.
You know, the one thing I noticed when we first met you 4 years ago, I didn't feel that you had any resentment. You weren't angry. You know, you don't have a sense of resentment, I don't think. Where do you think that comes from, being able to stay so positive through all that you've been through?
Well, another thing is, man, my brother used to always tell me, my big brother Vince, he used to always tell me, don't wear your feelings on your sleeve, you know. Your feelings is your feeling and they intimate. Share them with the people that you're intimate with. And sometimes I'm reserved. And I like to have people around me comfortable. So I try to be a people person, man. I try to make people comfortable around me. You know what I mean? And that's how I stay reserved. But, you know, best to believe when I go do what I do and release things, you know what I mean? I try to release them by myself so I don't infringe on nobody else.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to get too much into the witness or anything like that, but I know when we talked to you a couple of years ago, you didn't really blame her. You'd forgiven her, and you knew that she had just made a mistake. I guess, do you still feel that way, that she just made a mistake, and you don't really harbor any resentment toward her?
No, I don't harbor no resentment towards her. But after all these years, you know, see, it's hard. It's hard for somebody to say I made a mistake. You know what I mean? And you know, her decision is pulled by questions, people bombarding her, pressure to get somebody, pressure to convict, pressure to closed the books, as you say, you know. And I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at her because this is what she thought. You know what I mean? This is what she believed. You know, I could see anybody making a mistake like that. I can see it. We human. So if I don't say I'm mad at her because she made a mistake in what she believed in, so the same thing is I can say I'm mad at the justice system for making a mistake in what they believed in. That's not the facts. You know what I mean? That's not the facts with them. But I put her on a different playing field because she's a layman to the law. She's a layman to the investigation. You know what I mean? She only did what she thought was the person. You know what I mean? She thought was right. You know what I mean? Had it been further investigation, maybe it would have turned out different. You never know.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at her, man. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at her. Because, you know, I left that behind when I left out that door. When I left out that door, I left all that behind. All the pain, all the, things I had bottled up inside, all the things that I was going to do when I get out. I wasn't going to be around this person. I wasn't going to be around this person. You know, when I walked out the door, when I hugged my wife, man, I said, this is new life, man. You know, love is love. Give everybody a new start like they just gave me. You know? That's how I felt.
Yeah. So what now? What are your plans? What are your dreams now that you have sort of a new lease on life?
Well, you know, my focus is to bond with my family. You know, after 20 years, man, you know, although we know each other naturally through our DNA, you know what I'm saying, we have to bond and get further memories of good times. You know what I mean? Mine stopped when I was 26. Now I'm 46. So now I got a lot of catching up to do. So that's my main focus. You know what I mean? Family. Family, family, family. That's what I do. You know, that's what I want. That's my happiness. That's my comfort zone. You know, my grandkids, you know, that's my world. You know what I mean? I get to raise them, you know what I mean, from kids. I haven't get the chance to raise my kids, you know what I'm saying? And that was devastating. Now I got a chance to raise their kids.
Yeah. Yeah, over the last 20 years, did it sort of feel like time was stopped outside of your world? Was it hard to kind of grasp what was happening around you, having to be in that confined space?
Well, you know, anytime you in a cell, a small cell, with your toilet and your sink inside of it, it's not gonna make you feel good. You know what I mean? So that's undescribable, the feeling that unless you've been there, unless you sat in that cell for 20 years and gone through what you're going through, eating the food that they serve you, you know, they serve food for a baby. You get food 3 times a week. They serve food for a baby. You may get a handful of cereal, just a little cup, handful, 2 pieces of bread, and a juice, maybe, if you lucky. You know, they just don't feed us right in there. It's a lot of things that we went through in there, man. You know, and it start with DOC, man. Like, you know, they try to bring down costs, but starve us. You know what I mean? Inside of there. You know, and the things, the activities is minimum activities, minimum educational things to do. You know, it's hard to get a program. You know, these guys stuck in their cell. You got a lot of people idle. Idle means that you don't have no job. You just stuck in your cell. You can't go out. You go out once, twice a day. You know, and you know, I'm not gonna leave them brothers behind. You know, I'm gonna try to help. I'm gonna try to campaign to get these prisons a little better for the people, man, deserve it. You know, because there's people in there, it's a lot of people in there that's innocent. At least, even if everybody else get the good treatment, which it got to happen because you can't just treat people you think that's innocent better than other people in prison. It just don't work like that. But if we can get the prison system a little better, you know what I mean, a little more understanding, because you're dealing with human life in there. You know, regardless of what these guys did, you know, you sentenced them to this, and you say that's justice. So now you housing them, so you're responsible for them. You know what I mean? So when you can't treat them like a dog in there. You know what I mean? So you know that part was hard, man. That part was hard, and the transition out here is just, it's so real, man. Like I can't really explain that to you. You know how I feel from being in that little cell to being in my house, my family, my kids. You know. So
Is it scary at all being out in back in the real world with like endless possibilities? I don't know if scared is the right word, or is there any anxiety about just coming back to regular life?
there's a lot of anxiety, you know, and I try to talk to my mother every night. You know what I mean? You know, and she a woman of great wisdom. You know what I mean? Compassion, love. She's one of the most humblest women in the world. You know, and you know, her and my mother is my rocks. You know what I mean? And I mean, my wife and my mother is my rock. But my mother is, she's I think she's an angel sent down by God, man. She's just a blessing, man. Like, I don't even think she know how she got me through that. I don't know. I don't think she know. It's not an explanation how I feel about that woman. You know what I mean? If they told me, you know, listen, man, you got to spend another 20 years in there for your mother, man, you know, to keep her alive, I go in there happily, man, and lay down on that cot, man, and look at that TV, man, and, you know, just as long as I can talk to her and call her, man, I'll be all right. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know. So my mother keep me grounded, man. My mother keep me grounded. My wife keep me grounded, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know if people, when you were in Attica, were familiar with your case, but were there people that, when you were serving time, people that you felt believed that you were innocent and knew you were innocent? Or
Absolutely.
people, do you think people were on your side inside?
Absolutely, because you know what it is that, you know, just like you read the case and understood that it might be questions here, you know, they read my case and they seen the questions. So, you know, if you read my case and you understand what it was about and understand how it unfolded, you know, you would knew the dangers of this case, you know, and you would knew, you see it in your heart. So a lot of them did believe, you know, a lot of them did root for me, you know. I still got friends I hold dear back there, you know what I mean? They got me through it, you know what I mean? And the one thing a lot of people do is they forget them guys behind in prison. I'm not gonna forget them, man. You know, I grew up with them, you know what I mean? I've been on the earth 26 years before I went to prison, you know what I mean? That's 6 more years that I had on this earth than I had in prison. So it's 20 years. You build bonds with people, man. You don't want to break those bonds, you know, because we helped each other out, you know. And you know, and I'm not going to say, I had a respectable bid in Attica, you know what I mean? I had a respectable bid all the way because I was very respectable, you know what I mean? Your bid is what you make it, you know. You walk that walk, you talk that talk, man, you do what you do, you know what I mean? But my thing is, for me to walk that walk, I understood that I have to get back to my family. So anything else was uncivilized to me, you know what I mean? And plus, when you're a man, you do man things. When they see a man, they respect a man, you know what I mean? When you respect others, man, they respect you, you know what I mean? And that's something that I hold dear, you know what I mean? Respect me and I respect you, man, and everything will be all right.
Yeah, and now that you're out, I guess you have to. There's a lot of things people wouldn't realize that you might have to do. Like, you probably have to get your driver's license again, and you got to do, like, look for work and all that. I guess.
Oh, my cousin Reese gonna take me to do that right after this.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes,
Cool.
we're gonna get a bite to eat, and then
Yeah.
we gonna go down there and do DMV.
Yeah. Do you think you'll remember how to drive?
Yes, I remember how to drive. immediately, you know, I'm like a NASCAR driver.
Yeah, like riding a bike, right?
Yeah, it's right riding the bike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like saying, yo, you forgot how to use a spoon, a silver spoon.
Yeah.
I say, yo, no, I do not drive. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do not drive. I'm going down there immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Try to get me a big F-150, man. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say you deserve it.
Yeah, man. Right now, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do after I leave here, man. I'm going to the DMV. We're gonna get us a bite to eat first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty good plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Dooley? I don't know if you had any questions or.
I don't know. You mentioned a couple of times, you know, you don't want to forget the people you left behind, people you spent 20 years with. If you feel comfortable talking about what was it like? I mean, when did you know that I'm leaving this place and I'm not coming back?
I knew. I didn't know when I took the ride to court. I knew when the judge took them in the chambers and sat me in there, and when my lawyer came in there and they looked at me, and they always protected me. They never gave me false hope. They never, you know, they said it's gonna be a fight. They never said you know, it's looking so good, it's looking so good. They never gave me false hope. And this is what I love about my lawyers. They stick to the script, you know. And I found out when my lawyer came in and I looked at my lawyer, Rebecca, and then Glenn followed her. And I looked at her and I seen it in her face before she even said it. She said, "You going home." And I froze. And I asked her, I said, "Is you for real?" And when she hugged me, I knew it was for real. Just like when my wife hugged me. And when she hugged me, and my Glenn hugged me, I knew it was for real. You know? I love them so much, it don't make no sense, man. Them freedom fighters, man. I hope it's a lot of other lawyers look at what they do and say, you know, with integrity, man, feel it in their heart, man, to help others, man. You know what I mean? They the carte blanche of lawyers, man. Yes, they is, man. That's when I knew.
It was a big part of your life. Maybe you can't, but how do you want to put this behind you? Do you want this to define you if you live to be 100? Do you never want to forget this experience? Or do you want to forget it as quickly as you can?
You know, life is building blocks. You know, you can't forget what you went through, what made you a man. So I'm never gonna forget that, man, and I'm never gonna downplay what I went through. You know what I mean? It was real catastrophic what I went through, and I'm still dealing with the remnants of it right now. You know, and when I leave here, I still have to deal with it. You know, I shouldn't be so excited to go to DMV. I shouldn't be so excited to eat something. I shouldn't be so excited to do anything. You know, and you know when you strip that freedom away from somebody, man, and when you finally gain it back, man, it's real puzzling, man. You got to put the pieces together. You know, I could be putting the pieces together for 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, or for the rest of my life. But best to believe I'm not going to stop putting that puzzle together.
What surprised you the most in the last week?
My grandkids. Amazing, crazy. It's just beautiful, man. My grandkids, man. My grandkids is all that in a bag of chips, man. You know? That's what amazed me, man.
Yeah, seeing them, I can imagine, you know, when you see them, you probably realize, you know, the magnitude of all this.
Right. You know, it's just amazing, man. Come home to them every day. Come home to them every day. Yeah. I just want to raise them, man. It's my hearts.